Ever feel like you're doing everything right, but still feel stuck? The career, the house, the script we followed, yet something's missing. Everyone said we made it. We realized we'd been climbing someone else's ladder. That realization sparked a journey toward liberation, toward Africa, toward intention. We haven't left yet, but the shift has already begun. Liberation doesn't start with a move. It starts the moment you stop asking permission. Hi, I'm Simone.
Hi, and I'm Luke.
And welcome back to our Liberation Journey, where we share how we are building location independent businesses, investing in Africa, as well as planning our family's relocation to South Africa. And first, we always want to start by acknowledging everyone who has shared their well wishes, encouragement. We do appreciate you, one, taking the time to even watch our videos, but also taking the time to leave a comment, particularly to leave words of encouragement. So we always want to start by acknowledging you and extending our gratitude for taking the time to spend and watch us and engage with us. So thank you. Anything you want to share?
I think you summed it all up. It means a lot. We appreciate you coming along with us on this journey. So once again, thank you.
Yeah. Because this space, really, we want it to be a space for community building, for building connections with people globally. And so that's the spirit that we're always going to lead with. And we definitely always want to encourage people to share and join us on this journey to liberation. So, all right. Today's episode, we actually going to focus on common misconceptions, particularly that Americans have with respect to South Africa specifically, but also kind of broadly with respect to the continent. And a lot of what we're going to focus on as far as these misconceptions come from, conversations that we've been having with people, whether it be friends, family, co-workers, or, just acquaintances. Because we've mentioned in previous episodes that we have traveled to South Africa a few times over the past year. And so naturally, people that know us and know that we've traveled have questions. And certainly, a lot of people, now that they know we have made a decision to relocate, they have even more questions.
A lot more.
And so a lot of what we're going to focus on today is just those common misconceptions and shedding some light on a lot of those misconceptions. But first, so Luke, for you, what do you think is some of the kind of reasons why people have these misconceptions about South Africa and Africa in general?
It's what people see. It's from the lens of the TV, how people portray it, what they've been taught, or just seen. People think of Africa in general. It's just like people are suffering, and there's poverty, and there's no quality of life, and people just need everything there, and that's not true. So I think they ask those questions. They see what's on TV, and they think this is the way of life there, and it's not. It's not the way of life.
Yeah. The only thing I say I would add to that, as far as what is the kind of cause of people having these misconceptions is, quite honestly, I think for many Americans, they have very limited exposure to the continent and certainly to South Africa specifically. And so, as Luke mentioned, a lot of the misconceptions are a result of those very limited exposures to the continent. All right, so let's discuss misconception number one, and this is something that often gets brought up anytime we've talked about traveling to South Africa. Is it safe? Safety is always kind of the top of the list when it comes to what people think or say with respect to traveling to the continent in general, but for us specifically to South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
So for you, Luke, what would you say is your experience as far as safety, and what you would say to those who are concerned about safety when traveling to South Africa?
So, I'm gonna be upfront and honest. Crime does exist everywhere, but I'm gonna talk about my experience in South Africa. To be exact, Johannesburg. Felt safe. Wasn't scared or worried about anybody doing anything to me. I was fine. I felt protected while I was there with no issues. I did get up every morning. Just to give you an example of how I moved around when we were there, I'm an avid runner, so I was getting up at 5 a.m. out the door, 5:30 to be exact. So I had a chance to see people moving in the hustle and bustle, getting ready to go to work. So the streets were, heavy, but a lot of people moving around at that time. So I wasn't worried about the safety at all. I felt a part of the community. I was moving. People were saying hello, and it wasn't an issue. So that's the daytime, the nighttime as well. Like I said before, you have to be smart traveling to locations you're not familiar with, but also, definitely explore and be smart on where you're at and what you're doing and how you're moving. But crime does exist everywhere, but I was good. We were good. My family was good. So,
Yeah. I would say also that from my experience, being there 3 times.
yes.
Yeah, three
That was three.
times.
It was three. It was three.
3 times. The first time it was just Luke and I. The second time it was us as a family with our younger children. And then the third time was myself and our eldest son. Were in South Africa together. And so all of those times, at no point did I feel like I was in a situation where I was unsafe. Just like Luke said, you have to be smart. There are places here in the US that we don't spend time in, whether it's daytime or nighttime. So I think it's the same any place you go in the world. There are definitely places that are not safe, but the majority of places are not that way. So there are plenty of spaces and places and neighborhoods to spend time, enjoy, and not be concerned about being in unsafe situations. Does petty theft happen? Yeah, of course.
Of course
I
it
mean,
does.
you
Yeah.
go to New York City and
Don't matter where you go, it
you'll
happens.
come across the same issues.
Yeah.
So it's always interesting to me when people bring up safety, particularly people coming from the US, where, crime is happening every day, and all parts of the country. It's not just relegated to certain areas. You know, we don't have to go down the whole litany of mass shootings that have occurred in the U.S., from churches and synagogues to grocery stores and movie theaters, schools.
The list goes on and on.
So, you know, we have to put things in perspective, and just from a day-to-day going about enjoying yourself, experiencing the different neighborhoods. As Luke mentioned, you know, he went out running by himself, because I don't run. Let's just be clear about that. No, well, I shouldn't say that, but I'm not a runner like he is. So anyway, you know, he's out and running. So, and at no point did he feel, you know, unsafe. And even though, you know, he's a big guy or whatever, still, he felt actually welcomed, and people remembered him, right? The first time we went together, and then we went back a few months later with the children, you know, some people actually like recognized him from the previous time we were there. So when it comes to safety, I don't think that should ever be a deterrent for anyone from the U.S. coming to specifically South Africa, because there are plenty of places that you can travel and spend time and have a wonderful experience and not have to worry about safety and being unsafe. So I think we belabored that point as far as safety.
Yeah, safety. Yeah. Just be smart. You know, be smart and pay attention to your surroundings.
Yeah. All right. So misconception number 2. Oftentimes, people think that it requires this complex system of having to go and travel with respect to like visas, you know, having to get certain immunizations, you know, all those different things, which immunizations are required in some parts of the continent, but specifically in South Africa, as long as you have a valid U.S. passport,
it's very important,
and it's not expiring, make sure you check the expiration date before you travel, because it does have to be valid for a period of time during your travel. But outside of that, as long as you have a valid U.S. passport, you can get on a plane and come to South Africa and stay for, you know, a maximum of 90 days.
90 days.
Without having to like apply for a long-term visa. And actually, they allow you to extend it for an additional 90 days on that visitor's visa if you want to stay longer than the 90 days. But max is 180 days.
180
if you extend it. But you don't need to apply for a visa prior to. You just come with your passport. And there are not immunizations that are required to travel to South Africa. You know, things like yellow fever, that's more when you're traveling to, you know, West Africa, because that's more endemic there. But in South Africa, you're not required to have any type of immunization in order to travel. And you can do it safely as well, as far as that's concerned, because like I mentioned, we've been there a few times, and none of those times did we get immunized. So there's definitely not that requirement. Is that a common thing that you get questioned when people ask you about?
I do.
Going?
The first thing they say is, "Oh, you're going to South Africa? Wow. How many shots you have to get?" And I'm like, 0, no shots. Just make sure you have a valid passport, like you stated before, and just get ready for that flight. You know, because it's a beautiful flight, and when you land, you're ready to have a great time. Okay. But that's it. The main thing is how many shots, and that's it. And I love answering that question, because I'm like, just have a valid passport, book your flight, and get ready for a great time.
Yeah. All right. So another common thing that comes up as far as concerns or misconceptions is around infrastructure and having a lack of access to certain amenities. And so that's also a common concern and misconception that people have about South Africa. So, what would you say to that particular aspect around the infrastructure and the concerns for having access to certain amenities?
I do get asked that question. They say, well, is South Africa developed? And the first thing I say is Africa is one of the most industrialized countries. They have advanced banking. They have universities.
You mean South Africa?
South Africa, South Africa. What did I say?
You said Africa.
I'm so sorry. Meant to say South Africa. But there's major infrastructure there. And it has a huge global influence. So that's what I share. I let them know that South Africa is developed to a point where if you leave the States and go there, you'll be like, oh, okay, it's real. It's nice out here. And we definitely saw that when we went our first time. And what's your take on it? What would you say?
So I would say, one, the infrastructure as far as having, paved roads.
Yes.
The actual buildings are similar, if not better, as far as how they're constructed. There's a lot of questions around electricity and, load shedding, as well as like internet access, all of those different concerns that particularly Westerners have, and Americans more specifically, when traveling to the continent in general, but also that concern is, there when it comes to South Africa. So what I say to that is, one, that every amenity that you have here in the U.S., it is there in South Africa. And on many instances, the point of access, as far as how much it costs you when you're coming from the U.S. and, accessing certain amenities, the cost is less than what you would pay for that same amenity in the U.S. The quality, quite honestly, is better. I'm just gonna have to say it.
I would agree.
It's better.
I would agree.
One of the places we frequented, and we went to multiple different malls, because mentioned, particularly the second time we went with the children, we ended up going to several different malls.
Yeah, we stayed in the mall.
And their malls they put malls, particularly in our area, they put them to shame, for sure. Even like strip malls, like what we call strip malls, the quality is just on a different, it's just on a different level. The restaurants on a different level. The aesthetic, the quality of food,
the service.
It's just on a different level.
You have access to everything you need. I didn't mean to cut you off, I'm sorry. But you do have access to what you need on levels that you can only just imagine. You have to be there to see it. Like, we can talk about it and share this information, but the access is available for you.
Yeah. And even, with the concerns around load shedding, right? So load shedding is certainly a thing. I would say during our stays, was there, I think maybe one time, and it was for a moment. It wasn't even like an extended period of time where the power went out. Now, granted, when we stayed in South Africa, we were in Johannesburg, and more specifically, we stayed in the Sandton area. So I do recognize and understand that what is experienced in that part of South Africa, in Johannesburg, is not necessarily what people experience in other parts of the country.
That's important to share as well.
Yeah.
So we do understand and realize that. But what Simone is saying is that the load shedding didn't affect us, and we were fine with it. The kids were with us, and they were like, "Oh, power's out." What they call that? You gotta come fix this.
Yeah.
And but we shared with them and let them know how this process works, and they were fine with it. And so
I mean, it didn't last that long. It was
it didn't last.
Literally, it was. I wouldn't even say it was 5 minutes. It was. Yeah, it was really a very brief time, and that was just one time.
Yeah.
When we were there, the two of us, I don't recall there being a time when there was.
No, we didn't experience
the power
it that
was
time.
out.
We didn't experience it.
And it didn't happen the third time I was there with Elijah. So, I do recognize that it used to be a more frequent occurrence for the power to be shut off for periods of time, for scheduled periods of time. But again, we were there November of 24, April of 25, and back in end of June, beginning of July 2025. So, relatively not that long ago, we were there and we didn't have those issues. Even I would say even with the internet, from different areas that we traveled and frequented, like we would use Wi-Fi because WhatsApp is a very common way to, communicate with people. And some of the time we had, drivers that were part of what was arranged for us, and we would communicate. Excuse me. We would communicate with the drivers via WhatsApp, and many different places, and never had an issue with being able to communicate. So certainly the Wi-Fi, the infrastructure from that standpoint is up to speed.
Yeah.
Pun intended.
It's up to speed. No.
So definitely from an infrastructure standpoint, when you're talking about South Africa, are there issues with infrastructure in certain parts of the country? Absolutely.
Yes.
There are issues with infrastructure here in the U.S. Okay. So let's just keep it 100. Okay. All right. Next misconception is around what to do, things to do. Oftentimes people think, oh, you're going to Africa, so you're going on safari, and that's kind of the beginning and the end of what you can do and experience in Africa and in South Africa specifically. So what would you say to people who think that really the only thing you have to do over there is just go to a safari and see some animals?
I start off by saying, yes, the wildlife is amazing. There's great things to do on the lodges, but please keep in mind the truth is South Africa has great modern cities. They have beaches. They have everything that you have here in the States. You can get that there. Like Simone said before, just to give you some examples, if you want that water, go to Cape Town, go to Durban. You can also get the nightlight there as well. You can hang out in Jozi. You definitely have the art districts as well. So the music scene is amazing. So just to give you an idea, if you want to step away from all of that and you want to enjoy the outdoors and the natural beauty of just nature, why not? But the wildlife is amazing. The truth is, South Africa has everything that you need to enjoy yourself with your family or yourself and have a great time. So it's what you make the best of it. But like I said before in the beginning, people think, it's just wildlife because they look at what's on TV or they open up a book and they hear this, and sometimes they're, the saying is, they open up their mouth and put their brain on display, you know. but it's all good though. But I just love sharing this information and letting people know that there's more to it than what you've been told, and we're gonna continue to definitely share that great information, and that's it. So what's your take on it, babe?
So one, the safaris are a bomb.
Yes.
Well, I'll start with that.
Yes.
So if that is the reason you're going, you will be.
You enjoy it, yeah.
You will have a wonderful experience. I would say, it's almost like you are convening with the creator. I'm not trying to get deep into it, but I'm just saying for me.
It sounds like it, but it works for me though.
For me, every time that we did a safari experience, just sitting in that vehicle, driving through, seeing all of the natural beauty outside of even just the animals, just the landscape, and you're just taking it all in and really appreciating. You're looking at things, you're just like, only something divine can construct all of this. And then certainly the animals and seeing them in their natural habitat, it's just, I would just say it's like convening with the creator. You're just there experiencing that divine sense of being. Like, it's just, so I say all that to say the safari experience is
amazing.
It is worth the trip.
Yes.
But outside of that, there are plenty of other things to do if you insist upon not experiencing the safari. But there are so many other things that you can do. Luke mentioned beaches and nightlife, and we talked about malls. But even outside of that, experiencing nature, and there are lots of mountainous areas. There's gardens, there's waterfalls, there's the whole garden route, which we haven't personally experienced yet, but is definitely on our list of things to experience once we have been able to settle and spend a longer period of time in South Africa. The art scene it's wonderful. It's amazing. For children, there are so many different, children's activities. I think we discussed during our children's episode. They have play areas for the kids that are, I think all the malls that we went to had some sort of play area inside the mall, even outside the mall, for kids to have enjoyment. There's amusement parks, there's water parks, there's, all those different things that people are accustomed to having access to in the US. They have that as well in South Africa. So there are so many different things to do. There's so many different activities that go on throughout the year in South Africa, whether it's festivals, music, sports. I mean, the list goes on and on. There's just so many things that you can do and experience. And it has their own way of doing it, certainly. That actually brings up another misconception that we didn't write down, but it just popped into my head.
Please share.
Is that South Africa is just like going to the U.S. or just like being in the U.S.
No, it's not.
That's a common thing that I hear people say. It's like, oh, why are you going to South Africa? This is like the U.S.
No.
because there's that other side of the coin. You know, some people think that it's very underdeveloped and da da da, but other people say like, oh, it's just like going to the U.S.
No comparison. I'm sorry.
No,
No.
it's a no for you.
It's a no. Like I said before, when you open up your mouth and put your brain on display,
you got to talk louder so that people can hear you.
Once
rather
again,
than try to talk
once
to me
again,
in
once
my
again,
ear.
once again, it's no comparison. It's no comparison. I'm just gonna be real with you. It's not like the U.S. I enjoy traveling to South Africa, and when people say that, you know, like I said, they don't understand, and when you are limited the access and you don't explore from outside of the U.S., you say things like that, and so, but it's not like the U.S.
Yeah, no, it's not.
It's,
you know, the people that say that are people that have never been to South Africa.
yes, we've heard some things.
Like when I hear people say that, my first question is, have you been? And it's always, well, I heard.
Yeah. From who? From who?
If people are telling you what they heard, just let that go in one ear out the other. Cause we're not telling you what we heard. We're talking about what we experienced and experienced on multiple occasions.
Yeah.
So no, it is not the U.S. Does it have certain amenities and infrastructure similar to the U.S.? Absolutely, but they do it the South African way, which is different than the U.S. way of doing things.
I enjoy the South African way, and I'll start with the pace and how things move.
Okay.
Nothing's rushed, and I'm fine with that, right? It's a sense of community. One thing you won't do is walk in somewhere. They won't let you do it and say, I need this, this, and this, and this without greeting them. So if you come, they'll check you and say, hello, sawubona, and then go from there. But right. But it's very important that, you know, I enjoyed it. We enjoyed it because it's my word. There's community there, like, and you're welcomed, you know, and so we see it when we're there, and we also see it while we're creating this content and sharing our information. And like I said, we want to thank you. So, what's next?
You're thanking the people already.
Thanking them already. Why not? Why not? Because they gonna like the information we're sharing with them. We're creating a family on the other side.
All right. So the next misconception that often comes up is around food and what you gonna eat when you go over there.
I'll let you go first because you know me. I'll share my story after you finish, but you know.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing because I'm sorry. I just have to be completely honest and real. We eat straight poison in the U.S. and that's coming from a medical professional. Okay. The food in South Africa is clean. It is not pumped full of chemicals. Every type of option that you are looking for, that you're accustomed to eating, minus all of the chemicals and all the bad stuff that they put in our foods here in the U.S. You have access to that in South Africa, minus those things.
Yeah.
So whether it's your burger spot, your pizza, your French fries, or what they call chips, if you like, if you like different Asian cuisines,
Thai,
if you want Thai, yes, all of that stuff they have there. Whether it's Italian food, Mediterranean, I mean, the list goes on and on. Whatever persuasion of food that you enjoy eating, you will find a restaurant in South Africa that
will cater to you. What you
that
need.
has that type of cuisine. So the food should not be a concern at all. The concern is when you come back and you have to eat what is available to us here in the US at triple the price.
Yeah, that part.
That part is the part that you need to be worried about
Yeah.
having to adjust to, is to come back and have to pay an arm and a leg for poor quality food. So all jokes aside,
and
yes, the food is amazing. The service is amazing. The pace is definitely different. Like Luke said, everything is not like this, right? And I appreciate that as well. And so when you go to a restaurant, don't expect your food to be out in 5 minutes. Like, it's real food that they actually cook and not, throw in a microwave. So it takes time to prepare.
Yes.
And that gives you time to enjoy the people that you are with. Enjoy the cocktails, the appetizers, just enjoy being in community with people, and also being able to have good food.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we didn't have any issues with that.
So what would you say as a vegan?
Yeah, so I didn't have any issues. Everywhere we ate, I had what I needed. I am a vegan, so everything I eat is plant-based, and I enjoyed it. I definitely can tell the difference from eating in the States and eating there, just from the quality of the fruits and vegetables, the size of the fruits and vegetables, and just from the apples and the wax and so forth. Even my son said something to me. Liam was like, "Hey, Dad, this apple's real small." I was like, "Nah, that's the right size. That's what it's supposed to look like." Yeah, and so with me being a vegan, I definitely enjoyed the food and the nourishment that I took in while I was there, and I just could tell I was feeling good. Body was feeling good, and that allowed me to enjoy my fitness levels on another level while I was there.
Yeah,
I definitely saw a difference in that. Like I was moving.
Yeah. I think that's the majority of the misconceptions that we wanted to cover.
Yeah, I think we should.
I think we talked about schools last time. There are some misconceptions, particularly people who may be considering, kind of long-term options, and have children that, what are the schools like? Will I be able to find a high-quality school in South Africa? And I think we spent quite a bit of time last episode talking about schooling, but absolutely, definitely, there are many different options when it comes to schooling, and the quality of the schools is comparable, if not better, than a lot of what people have access to here in the US. So schooling should definitely not be a concern. The biggest concern is just figuring out which one you want to go with.
Yeah, that's
because you have so many choices.
So many great choices.
And then I think the last one that I had on my common thing that comes up is healthcare. Again, for people who may be looking to potentially stay long term, there's always a question about, well, what about the healthcare there? Will I have access to healthcare services? What's it going to cost me? Now, we haven't had to directly ourselves access healthcare in South Africa, but being a clinician, I have definitely spent, particularly the last few months, connecting with people in the healthcare space, and there are many different high quality providers that are based in South Africa. They have a robust private healthcare system that, particularly as a U.S. Citizen traveling to South Africa and staying long term, we're accustomed to having, medical insurance. And so you certainly have that option in South Africa, and it allows you access to private healthcare systems and providers that provide the same quality, if not better. Again, coming from somebody that works in the healthcare space. So that definitely does not need to be a major concern. I think the only thing I would say with respect to healthcare, particularly if you are looking to move long term and if you have certain healthcare issues, is just to know what are in the areas that you're looking to travel to. And so certainly there are places probably throughout the country where the access points are a little bit more further out. But if you're staying in a more metropolitan area like Johannesburg or Cape Town or even Durban, you have access to many different options when it comes to private healthcare. So that's the only thing I would say to the healthcare concern, is just being aware of where you want to stay and then what is in that area, because it can vary. The one culture. I think that comes up sometimes when it comes to South Africa, is that, it's just South Africans are just one way. That's absolutely
not
the
true.
case.
It's not one culture. It's not one language. South Africa, to be exact, I think it has 11? Is it? It could
So
be
they
more.
have 11 official
languages. It has
and I think in addition
cultures.
to sign language as well.
Yes, definitely sign language. It's diverse. Diversity is literally its identity. And that's key. So diversity is South Africa's identity.
And it's celebrated.
Yes, I love that. We've seen it every time we went, and I enjoy it.
Yeah, no, I think that's one of the things that I like and admire about South Africa, is that it's very open to accepting people from all different walks of life, all different cultures. As Luke mentioned, there are multiple different cultures, or cultural tribes that are indigenous to South Africa. But outside of that, there are a lot of people, international people from all over the world, that also call South Africa home. And from our experiences, it's been nothing but open arms and warm welcomes. So I definitely can appreciate the culture of acceptance and celebrating and respecting other people's cultures, and not trying to force people to conform to one way of being.
They call it the Rainbow Nation. The Rainbow Nation. So I like that. We've shared some great information. And is there anything else you want to add
about the misconceptions?
Yes.
No. I think we've hit the most common misconceptions that people have with respect to South Africa. So the only thing we're gonna close with is that we are coming back to South Africa.
Excited, can't wait.
It can't come fast enough. It cannot come fast enough.
Started packing.
You did not start packing.
Just kidding. No.
All right, I'm not even gonna blow up your spot, but I'm gonna keep what I wanted to say to myself.
Thank you.
Okay, good. Anyway, so we're coming back to South Africa. We're coming back in end of next month, end of March, and it's gonna be serving multiple purposes. One of those is business, to make sure that we get the Rosebank apartments furnished and ready for renting. Excuse me. Um, it's also our children's spring break, so we definitely want to make it a fun experience for them. So we definitely want to try to do things that we didn't do the last time we were there with them. So one of those, I think, they really want to go to the amusement park, which we weren't able to do
Yes,
the first time we
weren't
went.
able to do that.
We didn't go to the beach, so I think we're gonna spend a few days actually in Durban, in addition to being in Johannesburg. But we really want to get some feedback from our South African brothers and sisters as to what are some things that we should do, or you know, places we should go while we're there in South Africa in the coming weeks.
Yes, please share from um, you know, food. Kids love the malls. We definitely will be going to Bounce again because they've been talking about
that's a
that.
given.
They can go to
We
Bounce
cannot
every
go
day.
back there and not
They
go
can
to
go
Bounce.
to Bounce every day. So please share information for all of us to be involved together. That's important, and we're open to a lot of things. You know, we definitely explore the culture, and we can adapt to anything. So, would you like to share some of the locations we've been to, so people know, or you just want to see what people give us as feedback?
No, I mean, so just to kind of let you guys know where we've already been and what we've already done, so that we can get some suggestions for other places to visit. So certainly we did, Soweto.
Yes.
Spent time at Mandela's house. Did a whole driving tour through Soweto. We did the Lusidi Cultural Village
Yes.
with the children. We went to the Lion Park as well. We did the Apartheid Museum.
Yes, we went there.
Certainly we were in Mandela Square because we were staying, close by there. So we did spend time there. Am I missing anything as far as in kind of major
things,
common things that people do in Johannesburg? So we definitely want to do things that day to day South Africans do
Yes.
for fun. Things that may not be kind of the usual
Yeah.
touristy places. Like we really want to be able to experience more of Johannesburg and what it has to offer. So if you have any suggestions, we definitely would love to hear from you. We don't have a whole lot of time in Johannesburg, but the time that we do, we would definitely love to do some have some cool experiences that we haven't experienced yet. Like we've hung out in a few different neighborhoods. Like we've hung out in Rosebank. We've been in Melrose. Certainly we were staying in Sandton. So we definitely want to explore some other places. So let us know. Drop it in the comments and let us know what you would suggest us do that is also family friendly. We haven't explored the nightlife.
No, we haven't.
Although
I'm looking forward to it.
I need a day party.
Day parties are cool. Nightlife is cool too as well. Don't listen to her. She enjoys a good time.
I didn't say I don't enjoy a good time, but it got to be before 10 p.m. or it's night for me.
Listen to her. She's just talking right now. I'm not gonna blow her spot up. But no, one thing I want to share for myself is, so please, if anyone is watching this information, or of someone, I mentioned before, I love to run. I'm big on fitness, so I would love to connect with. I've had some information. I'm gonna reach out to some of the running clubs that's there, and I would love to connect with the community on the running side in South Africa, and get together on a run with a group, if that's possible. So if you know of any information, please drop that in the comments. I would love to come out there and connect with you and move a little bit and hit the streets in Jozi. So that's one of my requests I would love to do, and just, I don't mind running by myself, but I would love to connect with the community and the people out there and just share our conversations while we hit the pavement.
All right, and to the opposite of that, if you know of any good spas, let us sister know, because that is a must. That is an essential experience that I have to have every time I go away on vacation, is that I need to spend some time in the spa. So if you know of any good spas, please let me know. I definitely want to check them out, because that will be something that I will frequent when I'm there. So getting a scoop on the spots to go to, it will be a definite plus.
Yes, spas,
and I would much appreciate it.
Very important. Spas and fashion. Spas and fashion. Thank you. In advance.
All right, so just to wrap this up, we really just want to impress upon people, please don't let these common misconceptions prevent you from experiencing South Africa specifically, but just in general, the continent of Africa, because it is just, there's so much beauty, there's so much culture, there's so much to do and to experience, and to cut yourself off from that, because oftentimes the naysayers are people that have never even been or never really even experienced it. So don't do yourself a disservice. A disservice. Thank you.
Disservice.
Don't do yourself a disservice and listen to people who've never been, who've never spent time, sowing seeds of fear, because you're really missing out on a beautiful experience. And so, yeah, we definitely are going to continue to stay consistent. If there are any specific topics or questions that you have with respect to preparing to relocate, and yeah, just in general, any questions that you may have, we definitely are more than happy to address them, share on upcoming videos, and we will wrap up with our usual call to action.
Yes.
So you want to
like, share, and subscribe to our liberation journey,
because
sharing is caring.
All right. Till next time.
Take care.
See you later.
Have a good one. Peace.